I've been very hard on AI features in the past, and a lot of people have actually asked me, or challenged me, you could say, to come up with some good ideas for Apple Intelligence, or AI in general. I guess this isn't exclusive to Apple. So I wrote some ideas down, and I'm not trying to act like they're entirely original. You've probably heard these ideas before, and there's a decent chance that Apple's already announced personal context features might do a lot of the things, but it is still a wish list at the end of the day. So here's hoping some developers out there actually listen. I'm sure there's development going on. I'm not trying to act like I'm the most creative person on the subject, but here's 10 things Apple Intelligence could do that could actually start to impress me. Starting with the most impressive one from the beginning. On my Mac, I would really love it if there was a way for me to teach an artificial intelligence via machine learning or analyzing my screen. I want it to learn the way I edit content. I've said in the past, like, it doesn't make sense for me to replace my M1 MacBook Pro with an M4 MacBook Pro just for faster export times, because right now, exporting a video is only taking up 10 to 20 minutes of my day, which means spending thousands of dollars more on a new MacBook could really only save me, even if the exports were instant, a maximum of 10 to 20 minutes a day. But I do spend hours and hours a day editing different videos, so if I could teach an AI, here's how you cut out all of the dead air, cut out all of the mistakes, zoom in on certain angles, and then zoom back out on other angles, or put the text on the screen when I'm doing these numbers and all that kind of thing. I feel like it's all somewhat repeatable, and it could probably analyze my YouTube channel or analyze me editing my own videos for hours and hours and hours. And if it analyzed all of that for a good couple of weeks or months, however much data it needs, I feel like that it's possible that an AI could edit all of my videos for me, and that would be a lot cheaper than hiring someone to do it. So that would genuinely impress me, and if I needed to buy a new Mac to access that feature, it could save me hours and hours per day, which is why I would probably consider it. Now, a lot of these other features that I'm about to announce may not sound like a big deal, but it's just kind of general complaints with iOS, so that's why number 2 is one that comes up a lot. Learn to not focus on the bug guts on my windshield in car windows. Okay, this is still a problem. Even with all these advanced intelligence features, there's still times where you hold the phone up against a window and it will not focus. It will literally just think you're trying to focus on the bug guts on the windshield or the glass. This happens on airplanes, this happens in cars, and my hope is that maybe it requires machine learning of some kind, but maybe they could figure out if you're in a moving vehicle or trying to take a picture of a mountain, that you're not trying to take a picture of the splattered guts on the glass. Number 3 comes down to texting, something I think we all do a lot of on our smartphones. I know we have predictive text, and Apple's talked about doing proofread, where you write a long paragraph and then you have the AI analyze it to make it shorter or nicer or meaner. None of those have actually gotten me that excited. What would really get me pumped and excited is if that through personal context, where the AI knows a lot of what's going on your phone in a way that of course is private and encrypted and yada yada. If someone asks a question from you that the phone already knows the answer to through a previous text message with someone else, or an email you already received, like say my sister asks, what time is the family getting together tonight? And it remembers from a group chat message from, last week, what time the group message was. I would love it if it could auto-reply with the entire message and be able to not just do it in a robotic way, but that would, I guess, be my 4th request. I want texting to figure out my behavior, which I feel like AI is definitely capable of doing. Even using machine learning, we've seen Apple analyze in the Notes app how your handwriting is, and it can improve your handwriting a little bit, or even emulate your handwriting with the answer in the Math Notes app. I want that for more texting applications, where it figures out how I text my boss versus how I text my wife. That way, when the auto-reply messages come up, it can automatically add, like, hi honey, I hope you had a great day today. I just wanted to let you know that, like, I'm gonna be putting a pizza in the oven, so you don't need to pick up dinner on the way home. That kind of thing. And Siri, as a virtual assistant, could get better at understanding that. Like, if I tell Siri, text my wife that I'm gonna be making pizza tonight, it just automatically knows to not send just literally what I said. Like, send it in a nice way, throw in some little heart emojis, throw in some exclamation marks, or even end the text with, like, hope you drive home safe, I'm excited to see you tonight. Yes, it does sound pretty creepy, but of course, like any AI feature, you could turn this off if you like. But at the end of the day, I think text messages are just an extension of technology representing us. Like when we put emojis in our texts, everybody knows that's not really your your face. That's a cartoon face that's meant to emulate your emotion, which is why I think an AI recreating the way you write or adding on to the way you respond to messages isn't really necessarily deceptive if it's based on training data that you provided with your manual text messages. So more auto replies with the entire messages if the phone already knows the answer, and also when you tell a virtual assistant like, hey, text my wife that I'm on a phone call right now, have it say like, sorry, I know you're trying to reach out to me, but I'm talking on the phone. You know, just a little bit more automation in the background would be cool. Number 5 for me would also be a feature I think Google offered a way back, but I feel like they've since gotten rid of it. But I think AI should be good enough now at being able to detect what kind of song I'm trying to sing just by humming. There's been situations where I can't think of the actual song and I can't pull up a video of the song actually playing. I just remember it from the past, so I just want to sing it to Siri and have her go, oh yeah, those pitches, those notes that you're humming in that chord, it sounds like these songs. AI probably already does that to some capacity, but this is specifically for Apple Intelligence, I guess. So that would be nice. Another AI that would be helpful for photo and video applications is the phone. I mean, come on, you should know when I'm recording in landscape versus portrait. There's so many people on their phones these days that will start a video in portrait and then rotate it, and then the whole rest of the video is now sideways. I feel like AI should be capable of detecting that now and just like automatically rotate the video in post, or if it figures out that most of the video is in a certain orientation, just automatically rotate it. It's crazy to me that my phone is still built from the ground up for Apple Intelligence, but yeah, you can record a video, and if you didn't start it at the exact right orientation, you have to hit edit and then go into crop and hit the rotate button like 3 times to get it oriented properly. That should be a thing of the past. If we're talking about these phones being like the next level of intelligence, come on, you should be able to figure out what the right orientation is. Other things like that could be done as well, like number 7 for me. I've seen people leave the flashlight on and put the phone in their pocket. I feel like AI could probably detect those circumstances, the proximity of the camera sensors to an object on both sides. Like, it should know when it's in a pocket and just know to turn the flashlight off in that instance. Don't drain the battery unnecessarily. And a more general recommendation I have for number 8 is something that ChatGPT does really well, but Siri and Google haven't done as well, in my opinion. Digital assistants, they've been around for years. It's been well over a decade now. In my opinion, they haven't progressed as much as they should have for 2024. I think a digital assistant should sound like a human being. Like, it shouldn't feel like you're talking to a person. It shouldn't feel like you have to articulate and be really cautious with how you phrase everything. Or you shouldn't have to be worried, like I am right now during recording this video, that if I say Siri at the right time, I'm going to be automatically triggering and setting off all of your guys' phones. I feel like assistants should be able to understand the complete context of someone's expression. Should be, oh, I can tell this person is trying to activate me as the digital assistant, or they're just talking about me. So in that situation, I don't need to say anything. I don't need to be like, sorry, I didn't get that. By now, digital assistants should be capable of doing that. I think AI is probably part of the solution, understanding context better, and then when you are having a conversation with AI, it shouldn't feel like a robot. And ChatGPT is getting pretty good at that. You can talk to it now, and you can cut it off instead of having this walkie-talkie-like communication that we have with Google and Siri. And I'm sure all these companies are working on this, but that's just one thing that still bugs me a lot, prevents me from wanting to use virtual assistants at all, is it just feels like I'm talking to a robot, whereas I would rather it feel like I'm talking to a human being on the phone that just ever so happens to not really exist. Also, we could use AI to figure out lock and unlock orientations. That's my number 9, is just understand, maybe just by using the cameras or the application of the phone's accelerometer, like, wait, when he's in bed, he has auto orientation lock on more often versus when he's out of bed, then he wants the phone to rotate more. I feel like it's weird that we still have to go into Control Center and tell the phone whether we want it to auto rotate or not. AI should be pretty good by now at figuring that kind of stuff out. And lastly, it comes down to home screen features. This is an option that I just recently kind of thought of, is that we should really have a way for AI to arrange our home screen based on which apps we're using the most. It could probably do it in a creative way so it's not overwhelming or constantly changing. I'm not saying like every hour the apps rearrange themselves, but there should definitely be a way, and maybe App Library could be a part of the solution, to have your home screen show your most popular apps at the top or at the menu bar at the bottom and be like, these are the apps you're launching the most frequently, let's put those down there, and then apps that you use occasionally above that, and then all of the apps that you hardly ever use, we put that in the next page, or we put that in a folder. I feel like a lot of people these days don't even know how to customize their phones, so they just don't, and there's people that have had the same lock screen wallpaper and the same home screen layout since like the iPhone 5 days, and every time they transfer all their data to their new phone, they just leave it the way it is, even though it takes them like 8 page slides to get to where their apps are. If AI could step in and just say, we're gonna find a clean, simple, and elegant way to arrange your home screen so that all the apps you need are right where you need them, and the apps that you rarely need, we push back a little bit more. Of course, this could be optional, not everybody's gonna like that, but those are just the 10 best ideas I have for Apple Intelligence that I think would be actually usable and helpful in our day-to-day lives. What features do you guys want to see? Because so far, everything Apple has showcased with Apple Intelligence, I'm not a particular fan of, like Genmoji. I don't need specialized emojis. Image playgrounds, I'm never going to use that. And I'm also very particular with how I write my text, so I would very rarely want to proofread what I've already written, which is why, like I said in this video, I'd rather the AI write the text for me rather than me write the text and have it come in and change it all. But the Final Cut editing one would definitely save the most amount of my time for my use cases because I edit videos so much, or also to make a video and me just tell the AI, like, turn this into a short form vertical video, add the text and everything, and find the most interesting highlighted parts of the video so you can condense it down. Maybe someday AI and using video generation techniques, I won't even have to record these videos, and AI can just replicate my face, my voice, and say what the news is and try to do it in a Drew Tailosive tech way, and we're far away from that part. It hasn't happened yet. I already tried to let an AI write my videos. It didn't go all that well, but that would get me excited for AI. So far, none of the things on this list I've really seen happen yet, but feel free to comment down below what you'd like to see, and thank you to everybody supporting this channel directly. It seriously helps us out a ton, as does just watching these videos, so thanks again. This is your Apple Shapiro, and I will see you all in the next one.